That was to Real Madrid. We'll see what happens at the Bernabeu when the two face off. Carlo Ancelotti, however, said it will not be the title decider that everybody seems to think it is. Obviously, if we win tomorrow, he said, we'll have the advantage. But the season is still very long. We're well positioned and so are Girona. Tomorrow's game won't decide anything. The league won't be decided tomorrow, whatever happens. Is that the case, Ale?
Well, technically, no, it won't be decided, but there is no coming back if Girona loses to Real Madrid. I don't think Girona is able to generate enough sense of confidence and belief to be able to overcome Real Madrid and to be able to overcome Real Madrid twice. And the reason I say that is if you lose tomorrow, you already lost at home. If you lose tomorrow, well, of course, you've lost the head-to-head. So in order to beat Real Madrid to the title, not only do you have to catch Real Madrid, you actually have to be above Real Madrid. And so, for all intents and purposes, I tell you what, if Real Madrid beat Girona tomorrow, this is done. Barcelona is not catching Real Madrid. Atletico Madrid is not catching Real Madrid, and I don't think Girona is going to have enough to push Real Madrid to the end.
So, Stevie, you're pulling a face there.
Yeah, I'm with Ali. I see Real Madrid winning this game. I think they got too much, not just ability-wise, but experience. The whole, when you're playing against a side like Girona, a lot of people would say, well, they're going to be big-headed because they're only playing Girona. Well, Real Madrid have seen it and done it and been there, and they understand that as good as they are, they know that they have to be at it, even though it's Girona. And that's a big difference. When you've got that steely determination and that mentality that regardless of it being a minnow, you produce your best when it matters most, that's what's going to happen. I remember years ago we played a team called Norwich, who are now in the Championship. They were second in the league, sat behind us, exact same position that they were in.
So it was that type of season that they were the surprise side.
They were the surprise team.
But nobody expected it.
But we understood that they were playing well, but we also understood and we knew that at our best, we're way better than them. And so it was easier to focus. We weren't focusing on, we're playing minnows and this could be an incredible year for a small team to win the league. We weren't thinking about any of that nonsense. We were like, you know what, we beat them today. I'm thinking the way Ali is. We beat this team today. Nobody's going to stop us. And that'll focus them. So don't expect Real Madrid to be anything other than getting after this team. And I think Girona will be a little nervous. I think this Madrid side wins.
And Real Madrid, when they get in trouble in La Liga, it's because they're overlooking opponents. It's because they're thinking about something else. It's because, honestly, they're not quite engaged from the very first moment of the game. And so it kind of takes me back to the game against Almeria at home, where they're thinking about something else, quite frankly. And they don't show up in the first half, and they get in trouble, and they have to come back late, and they have to win the game that matter. That doesn't happen against Girona. If you're Real Madrid, if you're Girona and you're a Girona fan, and you're looking at this, and you're saying, okay, well, maybe Real Madrid is going to overlook us. Maybe Real Madrid is going to underestimate us. That's not happening because you've had too good of a season. And so you are going to get the fully engaged version of Real Madrid. And Real Madrid right now has too many questions defensively and too many issues with potential injuries and who plays and who doesn't play that it's going to force them to Stevie's point, to be fully focused on the task at hand. They're not taking anything for granted. They're not overlooking Girona, and they look at this as an opportunity to make the statement and say, you've had a great season. It's been great. It's been a cute story, but you're not at this level. Well, they have the chance now to do that at Santiago Bernabeu at home. Let's
go with the defensive side of things, because we spoke to Alex Kirkland to give us a predicted 11, and obviously with the way things are looking in the defence, it is looking to be Tchouaméni and Rodrygo, whose the hope is that he's going to be back for this game. Now, this would be the third time that they've played as a centre-back pairing. Two previous to that were at the Bernabeu. No goals were conceded, but obviously it's not a usual centre-back pairing. So if there's something that you are looking at for Girona, Stevie, it has to be this, how is it when you're playing with a partner in the centre of defence that you're not usually playing with on a weekly basis?
Well, the problem you've got there is that Tchouaméni's a smart and really good football player. And yes, the little nuances that you get with playing in a position for a long period of time, Tchouaméni's too good to look like a novice. And I think the fact that Rudiger's going to be playing as well is huge, not just for Tchouaméni, but also for Real Madrid. And if you're Girona, if you're really concentrating on what's going to happen with Tchouaméni and Rudiger, I'm afraid you've got other things that you need to worry about and what's going on in front of the two centre-backs. I would suggest that Girona have a lot more things to concentrate on than worrying about Rudiger and Tchouaméni, because you're talking about two world-class football players who, as you said, Tchouaméni might be out of position, but this guy can play anywhere on the field. He plays football, regardless whether it's up front, the middle of the park or defensively. He's a football player. So I don't see this being a real problem, to be honest. I think Girona's problems are going to be, how do we get to Rudiger and Tchouaméni? That's what their biggest problem is.
Well, let's go there then with Artem Dovbyk. If he does play as a striker, is he not looking at that, going, OK, I'm going to try and exploit this somehow?
No, and he has been really good for Girona. And when you look at the attack of Girona, they have been explosive. They have been dynamic. But in order to do that, Girona have decided, and this is part of who they are, is the identity, we're going to press higher up the field. We're going to get on your face. It's what they did against Barcelona. At Barcelona, they went and they pressed Barcelona, and they went and they got in their face. Barcelona doesn't quite have the ability of Real Madrid, not only to break through the pressure, but get out in transition. So now, if it becomes a game of transition, and then go in the opposite direction, you have Vini Jr., and you have Rodrygo, you have Bellingham running with the ball. You start looking at what the options are available to Real Madrid and how dangerous that can become for Girona. But this is who they are, right? This is what Michel does as a manager. We're going to press you, and we're going to get on top of you, and we're going to get in a back and forth. Against a team like Barcelona, yeah, you can get in the back and forth and expose some of the frailties that they have defensively. If you get in the back and forth with Real Madrid, first of all, they're going to be too organized for you to get on a back and forth. And then once they force a turnover, and once they go in transition, and it's Bellingham running with the ball, and it's Vini running with the ball, and it's Rodrygo running with the ball, who's stopping them? The transition game for Real Madrid is one of their strengths once they're able to break that first line of pressure with the quality of midfielders that they have. So Toni Kroos on the ball. Just picture this. Girona comes and press. They don't win that initial ball. Toni Kroos gets on the ball. Now it's a through ball to Vinicius Jr. And now Girona are chasing back. So they're going to be so concerned about minding what's going on in the transition defensively that it's going to take away from what they do offensively and some of the things that they have done over the course of the season.
So how do they approach it then, Stevie? Do they change the way they've been playing, or do they still come at Real Madrid with the way they've been playing this season?
Listen, it's always best if you can go and play your game. And the problem Girona has is the best teams, that's what they do. They say, well, you know what, you're going to have to change for us. Do we really think that Girona can go to the Bernabeu against Real Madrid and play toe-to-toe? They can't. They can't. You know, I think you're asking for trouble. I think they're going to have to do an Arsenal against Liverpool of last weekend. Just figure out where your line of confrontation is and try and keep solid. And then if you can steal something, then it gives you something to hold on to. But if they think they're going to go to the Bernabeu and open up and try and play on the front foot, I'm with Ali. They're going to get cut open. They really are. It's not Barcelona, you know, and it's not Barcelona, and it's not even a home game for Barcelona. That makes a huge difference. So the fact that this game is at the Bernabeu means they cannot go toe-to-toe. If it was at Girona, with the crowd behind you, maybe you can do it. You don't do it at the Bernabeu.
Now, there was an interesting quote from Savio before the game. He's obviously really stood out, the winger for Girona this season, made a huge difference to this side. He was asked about his idol, and he said Ronaldinho was crazy good. He was a very talented player with the ball. Ronaldo Nazario too, although he was more of a scorer. My idol in football history is Real Madrid's Rodrygo. Now, Savio's 19, Rodrygo's 23.
Just get. Savio, listen, you've had a great season, buddy, and you're playing really well. And you have been one of the best players in La Liga, one of the most dynamic players in La Liga.
And he loves him some Rodrygo.
But
I don't believe you. I don't believe you.
So why is he saying
Savio, I don't believe you.
He surely doesn't believe himself.
No.
He can't believe that either.
Why say this then?
Well, it's sort of this mind game. I'll throw something out there for Rodrygo to hang on to. It's sort of honestly, quite frankly, I think it's more of a joke than anything else. It's almost as if to say, everybody thinks that Real Madrid is so great, so my idol is Rodrygo. Yeah, we look up to Real Madrid. We're going to play this role, we are the underdogs, and of course, Real Madrid is so great and wonderful, and we were so fortunate that we're in the field with them. That sort of thing is what's going on here. I don't believe you, Savio, and neither do you.
Oh, he's been dazzling us all with his tricks.
No, he's been great. He's been great.
Is he dazzling us with his quotes here, with what he's got to say, Stevie?
Well, at least he's not... Listen, as much as we're thinking, what is he on about, he could have gone the other way and said something really, really stupid and wound Real Madrid up. At least he's being nice and giving us all a giggle.
All right.
But hey, Girona is a dangerous team. Let's not, because I think part of what has happened this season is a lot of teams have said, this is not going to last. This is not going to last. This is going to last. And here we are in February, and it's lasting, right? So there are a lot of good things that they're doing, and most of all is that they believe in what they're doing. There is an identity to who they are. Michel has this team playing a certain way, and there's a lot of rotation, a lot of moving parts. My problem is in those rotations and in those moving parts, when you have a team with the experience and the qualities of Real Madrid, they can exploit some of the mismatches. And if they exploit the mismatches, you're going to suffer if you're Girona.
Well, so far it is just 2 points between them in the table at this stage of the season, and it has been a brilliant story from Girona. But obviously, Real Madrid are favourites going into it. They're at the Bernabeu. They beat them in the reverse fixture away from home. What's your score prediction, Ale? You're not on the coverage for this one.
No, I am not.
You usually would be.
Look, it was 3-0 away from home. I think it's similar. I think it's 3-0 at the Bernabeu. And maybe some stressful moments to begin with, but for the most part, I'm going to take Real Madrid in a dominant performance. And once they score, Girona is going to feel like they're going to have to really get after Real Madrid. Worst mistake that you can make, because now you really open yourself up. 3-0 Real Madrid.
Stevie?
I'll go 3 Real Madrid. Girona might nick a goal. 3-1, but Madrid win.
You're so disappointed, Kay.
You think we were going to go, no, Girona's going to completely turn this around and go to the Bernabeu and they're going to destroy Real Madrid.
No, I don't think they're going to destroy them. I think it might be a little bit closer.
Okay, so who you're picking, Kay?
Real Madrid.
Okay.
There you go. Enough said.
We'll see, anyway.